Good evening. It is, what is today? I'm so sorry. Monday, May 9th. It is 5 o'clock. We have the library board meeting. I call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. I need a motion to approve the minutes for our last meeting on March 14th, 2022.
There's a typo on page 10 that we need to,
Okay.
the very first sentence on page 10, it needs a space in between better and about. And then I will approve the minutes once that revision is done.
All right. We can do that. All right. So with that revision, I have a motion to accept the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Order of new business. Tonight we have a few things. We need a motion to approve the revised unattended children's policy. I know this was something that we worked on at our last meeting. So, Ms. Donna, would you like to take it away on that?
Sure. So we did talk about it briefly last meeting, and what we had determined, and then talking with my staff and talking with Vergne in the children's department. If you get an opportunity to look over, we have changed the age to 12 years to be able to stay at the library by themselves up to 4 hours. And then that's all children under 12 years shall be adequately supervised by a responsible parent or caregiver at all times for the sake of their own well-being. The second bullet point, non-parental caregivers must be at least 18 years old. If a child under the age of 12 is attending a library program or activity, the parent, guardian, or responsible child care provider must attend the program with the child. And I'd like to refer over to Mr. Dodd, if you would like to tell us a little bit of what you had told me earlier.
Sure, everything looks good to me on this. I had one question that I mentioned. I just don't know if there's anything in state law that says a certain age child can watch their, for instance, babysit their siblings if they could be under 18 and do that. But I think this is the best way to go to make non-parental caregivers at least 18 years old. So other than that, I mean, everything looks good to me.
And in general, parents of any minor children should not leave them unattended for long periods at the library. Children must be at least 12 years old to be left unattended at the library. Then on the second page, we go on into parents or caregivers should plan to pick up the child no later than 15 minutes before the library's scheduled closing time. This is a policy that we have had in place. Children may not be left unattended for more than 4 hours in any day, and unattended children are subject to the rules and regulations of the library. And if a child under the age of 12 is left unattended, the following procedure will be enacted. Now, this is left unattended after the 4 hours. Staff will notify a supervisor and will stay with the child as they try to locate the responsible person by searching nearby areas. When the parent or caregiver is located, the staff person will explain the library policy or legal guard policy and to the children. I'm sorry, let me start that again. When the parent or caregiver is located, the staff person will explain the library policy in regard to children and give a copy of the policy. If the parent or legal guardian is not in the building but has a Verne Public Library, the staff person will call the telephone number recorded in the account information and notify them of the policy. The parent or guardian must pick up the child immediately. If the responsible person is not located within a half an hour, or if the library is closing within 15 minutes, the police will be notified and asked to pick up the child. Staff will remain with the child in the building until the parent or police arrive. The library is not responsible for the safety or security of children left unattended. The 15 minutes is before we close. I have never had to call the police when a child had been left there during the time that we were open. We've just kept trying to contact the parent. This would be worst-case scenario that we did not get in touch with them. Now, after we have closed, I have been known to stay with the child even up to 30 to 45 minutes, but I did notify dispatch. Dispatch did come over and stay with me. I did not send the child with the police because we were able to locate the parent. But we felt like we needed to leave this in there so that parents would be aware of our policy. Are there any questions?
I would just like, that last paragraph, I would like it changed to say if the child under the age of 12 is left unattended, or if children greater than 12 who've been there after the 4 hours, make it for both sections, then the following procedures will be enacted. It needs to be
Okay.
clear
All right,
that it's for both sets.
would you repeat the
So-
or?
Already, we have, if children under the age of 12 is left unattended, I think we need to add, or children greater than 12 who've been there longer than 4 hours.
Well, I'm just a tad confused because if they're 12 or older, no, okay, you're correct, I'm wrong. All right, been there 4 hours. Okay, thank you.
Just so it's clear.
Right. Any other questions? And that's a good thing to put in.
I like that addition to that. That way, well, like Bridget stated, that clarifies both ends of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just have one question, just to make sure. Students work, children at the age of like 17, 16, 17 still have to be with, or get an adult past 4 hours, is that correct? Or,
You know,
I'm
this
just
is-
making sure that I'm.
Right. Yeah, that's not clear because we do allow the older people to, older kids to stay longer. Our whole goal in this was to make sure we didn't have under the age of 12
Right.
dropped off and stayed. Sometimes a 15, 16-year-old and 16-year-olds who can drive can stay longer than that if they're doing a paper.
Okay.
So I think my thought process I need to go back to the drawing board on this and reword this to make it all a little more clear, because that's a very good question. And when Bridget brought up about the.
What if we just change it to the children under the age of 12 who've also been there longer than 4 hours? Instead of making it greater than 12, maybe left unattended or,
Okay, I see what you're trying to say.
I don't know.
If
Yeah,
children are
still-
under the age of
Needs to be changed somehow, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
So
Mr.
this is-
Dodd, do you
this-
have some input on
Yeah,
this?
so right now, it's, from what it sounds to me, like you're saying maybe just remove that bullet point, children may not be left unattended for more than 4 hours in any day. If you remove that, then what this says is children under 12 cannot be left unattended whatsoever.
Right.
Children over 12 can be unattended for as long as they want.
So just take out that bullet point
Okay.
completely together.
That's how I read it.
What is your thought on that?
I know you wanted a time limit, but
Well, no, and really not with the 16, 15, 16-year-olds, and it's hard to say 12-year-olds this, 15, 16, 17-year-olds that. I think it's a great idea if you all feel comfortable with that.
Just taking out that bullet point completely.
Because we are getting the point across that children under the age of 12 need to be adequately supervised.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because the rest of the bullet points just say that they can't be unsupervised, so you're assuming that they're there already with somebody.
Right.
So, yeah.
Very good.
So procedurally, the best thing to do would be to withdraw that motion
Okay.
and then make a new motion that says, you know, you can move for whatever you want, but if you wanted to approve this with that edit, then that would be your new motion that you would vote on.
Okay, I can withdraw my motion and make a motion to edit and remove the bullet point, children may not be left unattended for more than 4 hours in any day.
I have a question.
Sure.
Are you keeping a log of parents whose children are left unattended if this situation arises, so that if it happens again, you can go back and say, we talked to you about this, we warned you, whatever?
Right.
And secondly, what are the consequences of repeatedly doing this? What are their consequences? Is
In
that
the-
anywhere in the policy?
Sure. It is not in the policy. There is a term, there is something that we're going to write up about an appeal in case the parents or someone wants to appeal any of our policies. But what you were talking about, yes, I do keep up. If we have parents who leave their children, I keep a log of their names and the date and what I had talked to them about. Generally, I've never had a huge problem once that I have talked to them, and once I've given them the policy, then we have done really well. This policy is just really helping us as far as under the age of 12, because before we had it 10 and under. And that's where we had a little bit more confusion. We would have a family with a 12-year-old as the oldest come in and oversee the 3 and 4 and 6-year-olds. But yes, consequences, I need to come up with consequences to have it written down. Again, talking to the parents has worked in the past, but we do need written policies.
Yeah, otherwise the policies, you can't enforce it,
Right.
so,
Thank you.
okay.
Now, is that something that we want to add to the policy that we currently have? Or did you want to set a separate policy, like, hey, this is, you know, what's going to happen should you continue to do this? Or do we have to add it to this policy?
You don't have to.
Okay.
This policy here could really serve the purpose that you're looking for if this deters the parents from doing the things that you have an issue with them doing currently. So, no, you don't have to have the enforcement mechanism if this works. That's entirely up to you, though.
Okay. All right.
But as we go forward in revising all of our policies, I think it would be a good idea to have something in there so that we will have something to fall back on.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Well, we have a motion from Bridget to accept the revised unattended children's policy by removing the bullet point that states children may not be left unattended for more than 4 hours in any day. Do we have a second on that?
I second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Moving on to events. This past Saturday on May 7th, we had the City of Laverne block party, which I unfortunately was not able to attend, but I heard that it was awesome. Miss Donna, would you like to elaborate on that some more?
It was a very good time. We had good attendance for a very cool and misty day. The cornhole tournament, they were having a blast over there. At the library tent, we did push Oceans of Possibility. We gave out flyers with all of the events. We gave out bracelets and pencils. We played a game, and we had bubbles going at our tent. So that drew a lot of children and dogs. I did not realize how much dogs love bubbles. So it was a great time. The Parks and Rec staff knocked it out of the ballpark again, and it was very, very good. I talked to a lot of our Storytime parents and then a lot of new people who didn't know where the library was.
Really?
And so it worked out great. I like having the event at Veterans Park. We like to go to any of the events at Veterans Park because we have people walk over from the apartments and from around Lake Forest, and it's just a great way to get our name out there.
Absolutely. And you touched on oceans of possibilities. I'm not sure if anybody on the board was able to watch the meeting the other night, but we got to meet Ollie.
Yes.
And Ollie was, he was a hit at the meeting again, just like, the groundhog. What was his
I'm
name?
trying to think of his name.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm like, I know it's here, but
Oh.
okay, we'll move past that. But the oceans of possibilities, I was telling my son about it, and he is very, very thrilled and excited, and he can't wait to come down and check out everything that we have going on with that. I know you touched on it a little bit in the meeting on Thursday. Would you mind touching on it a little bit more for those who are watching now?
I will be happy to. If you will look in your folder, you have a flyer, Oceans of Possibilities. They await you at Laverne Public Library. What we did this year with our flyer, we went chronological with all ages. So our summer reading kickoff will be Saturday, June 4th from 10 to 1. Now, during that time, you can come in, you can sign up for summer reading, you'll get extra goodie bags, you'll get to be there for the balloon twisting and the face painting, and we'll have a snack to go. But you can sign up all summer long for Oceans of Possibility in case you're out of town and you still want to participate. You can do that the whole 2 months. If you notice, we have programs for ages birth through 2 years old, and then from 3 years old all the way up into adults. I brought one thing. Becky does our kids' afternoon program during the year, and it's once a month, and she tries to touch on a subject. She's a teacher, was a teacher, and so that teacher in you never goes away. And so what she did for summer, if you'll pull out your flyer here, the kids who attend these Kids at Crafternoon, they're on Tuesday evening at 5:30. We try to do some things so that parents who work can get their kids there. And this time, Becky is going to do Make Your Own Ocean. And along with the fun stuff, she's going to be giving facts, they're going to be reading some books, and just have a really good time. So it's basically a diorama that they're going to make, and each week they'll do something different. They're going to make a submarine. They're going to start off with making their ocean. Then they're going to fill their ocean with creatures. They're going to make a coral reef. They're also going to make a sea mobile, which is really cute, and you always have to have a little bit of jewelry. So they're going to make a turtle necklace. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But I just wanted to highlight that just a little bit. It's for ages kindergarten through 5th grade, but we invite any of the children who would like to come on in and enjoy that. We also have a Teens and Tweens activities. Our Teens and Tweens is by Marta, and Marta's been doing a great job. We have had about 8 core members come. We're hoping to build that this summer. And again, there's going to be different crafts, and along with the crafts, as they check out books, they get entries, and then she has theme boxes. And so every time they check out a book, they write down their name and their library card, and they put it in whatever box they would like to. The themes this year is puzzler, arts and crafts. I can hear her in my mind. Oh, candies and snacks. And there's one more, music. And so she's picked out certain things to go into these big baskets that she's making, and they get to put their names in whatever box they would like to. And it's always a lot of fun. The adults do the same thing, except for the adults, it will be a $100 gift card to Amazon, a $100 gift card to Kroger, and then one to Walmart. And so as they read throughout the summer, they can put their entries into whichever one they would like to, or spread their entries out. Of course, we have our usual science with Mr. Ritchie. We have a magician coming. We have Bob Tarter, who brings animals, always so much fun. And we are partnering with Stormwater. Alex is going to come down to the library. We're going to do a Creekside Saturday. We're going to have a story time, water activity, scavenger hunt, and snacks. And this is a rain or shine event. I have ponchos in case it starts raining. She's going to take the kids down to the creek behind the library. They're not going to get in the creek, but she's going to catch some of the little critters down there, and they're going to talk about it. Then she has this wonderful setup where they see how the rain and the water, when it comes down, where it goes, and how pollutants will get pulled, and why it's so important to think about our stormwater. So it's going to be a really fun day that day. Let's see if I can pick out something else. Our crafty canvas painting for adults, that is always a big hit. And Books and Babies Story Time, that's every Thursday morning. It's an interactive story time with the parents and their babies. Miss Sherry does an awesome job with that. And then the kids who read 6 hours total for the summer, and of course we have some that read so much more, but that's a goal that we've set, get to go to the skate party at the end of the summer. And the skate party would be free to them. We buy cookies. It's 2 hours, and they just have a great time. It's at the Smyrna Skate Center. So do you have any questions about summer reading?
It sounds like it's going to be a busy but fun summer.
It is, and we've been working on it for quite a while, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And I see the Runaway Puppet Theater. Are you going to be
Yes.
using your puppet skills on that one?
Their puppets are amazing. Yeah, they put Ollie and I just right down there. They use marionettes, and they also have just some great puppets. I can't remember where they're from, but they visit all over the United States. So we're very excited to have them.
That is awesome. Well, it sounds fantastic. I obviously encourage everyone to sign up, adults, teens, everyone, because you've definitely, you and your staff, I should say, have definitely put together a fun-packed summer for everyone, not just the kiddos. So that's phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we touched on a little bit of everything. I kind of jumped ahead with the Oceans of Possibilities because I
You
was a
got
little
excited.
excited about that one, so it was Ollie's fault.
That's right.
So 6 weeks of summer, we hit that. Am I missing anything? The book sale. This is why I have her. The book sale is now through the 21st. How's that going? I know we came in the other day and there was a few people in there, but it was real early in the morning still,
Right.
but I assume that that's going very well.
It is going amazing, better than we expected. We're using the gallery, and our deal is we have brown paper sacks. You fill it up for $2. And we've had people take advantage of that, and they have enjoyed it so much. And then we've had people who said, no, I'm paying more for that, and they give a donation, which has been wonderful. At this point, my last count was about $600.
Wow.
And these books are donations, and some that we have weeded from our library. So it's gone just great. We're very, very pleased with that.
Hey, we have quite a bit, not a whole bunch of time before the 21st, so hopefully we can hit that $1,000 mark. I think that's well
would be
into
wonderful.
reach. So I encourage everyone to go down and check that out. I know me and my family were in the other morning, and a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of good
Yes.
stuff. Am I missing anything? Ms. Donna, am I missing anything?
I'll just go ahead on down the road
Go
here.
ahead, let's do it.
The last weekday story times are this week. We had our last homeschool story time until after summer reading. Wednesday will be our last Once Upon a Story time. Thursday will be our last Books and Babies and Jammies and Stories until after story time. The staff's going to use the last 2 weeks of May to decorate the children's department. I would love for you all to come in because they are planning something really amazing. You're going to be walking into the children's department under an ocean. So it's really cool if all works out well. And it'd be cool if it doesn't work out well. Kids Crafternoon, like I had just shown you for the summer reading, they have their last program tomorrow night, and it's Robots with Personalities. And it is really cool. They are using aluminum pots. They're more like the little aluminum pots that you sit down in a grill to catch the grease and things of this sort. And all sorts of screws, bolts, anything you can think of, and they're making robots out of it. And they're going to be adorable. Really, really cute. Teens and Tweens are going to have their first movie day Saturday, May 14th at 2 p.m. There will be popcorn and drinks and candy. And the movie is Freaky Friday.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Right, and this is the modern version. I think it was like 1994, so that's the most modern one. But other than that, it looks like you have covered everything.
Again, I got so excited with Oceans of Possibilities, and now that that one's really got me, so. Well, does anyone have anything else? Any questions? Any?
No, I don't have a question. I just wanted to say, I've seen Bruce Amato, and he is incredible. So if you've never seen Bruce Amato as the magician for it,
Yes.
he is absolutely awesome.
Really?
So, yes.
He worked with David Copperfield
Yes, he did.
in the
Really?
very beginning of his
Oh, wow.
career.
I worked at a daycare for about 5 years, so.
Okay,
Teach any
yes.
of his tricks?
No, but he gave me a DVD, so I could actually learn, but it didn't help.
That's a skill on its own right there.
And Megan, if it's okay, I would like to go back to our policies.
Yeah.
I do appreciate very much you all working with me. This is why many heads make light work and many hands to think things through. We are going through all of our policies. The next policy will be the meeting room policy, and I think Bridget has a few comments that you would like to make on that so that we can think about it for our next meeting.
So I printed the Limbaugh meeting space user agreement January 2022. And it's available only to local nonprofit organizations, government agencies, or other groups or individuals whose purpose falls within the system's current strategic plan. And that's something we currently don't have in place with our library board. So, but we could just make it, our focus or our mission
Right.
statement as well there. They request that the meeting rooms be made using an online form, so I think that would be a good thing for us to put into place. And all reservations have to be made at least 7 days in advance. I think that would be another policy that we could add to ours. Priority scheduling would be given to library-sponsored events. I think we need to keep that and keep it for our city events as well,
Yes.
library-sponsored and city events. And non-library sponsored events, we be scheduled on a first-come, first-served basis and will not be allowed to meet more than once per month. Ms. Donna said that's too much for our few rooms.
Yes.
So I would suggest every three months or on a quarterly basis for our library. Rooms may not be used for birthdays, anniversary parties, weddings, funerals, or any other personal events. Food and drink may be allowed, but any refreshments have to be provided by the group members, and they're responsible for cleaning up afterwards. Maybe we can even charge a fee if there is food, so
Right.
That was my thing. I was
we
gonna say.
can get the cleanup fee. So that's another thing we need to talk about and maybe discuss a fee possibly there. For evening meetings, all rooms must be vacated 30 minutes prior to closing, is what they have in Limbaugh. So we could do the 30 minutes or we can do the 15, as long as we're giving our staff plenty of time to go back and
Right.
make sure everything's okay and cleaned up properly. And if a meeting or activity needs to be canceled, groups should contact the library at their earliest convenience, and repeated no-shows or cancellations within 3 months of book dates may also result in the loss of meeting room privileges. So if we get repeated people who continually schedule and then don't show up,
Right.
we can say, okay, you can't come back. Upon request, they can get technology. Do we currently have that for the meeting rooms, for those
We
that need it?
currently have a projector, and they would need to bring their laptop. And then we recently purchased a TV that you can hook up your laptop to.
Okay,
So we could write that in somewhere.
okay. They said, in the Limbaugh system, the organization or responsible individuals would be financially responsible for any damages that occur. Program or meeting publicity, such as posters, press releases, or other material, may not imply that these events are sponsored, co-sponsored, or approved by our library system. Groups using the meeting rooms must abide by all the library policies, including but not limited to the rules of conduct. So I think
Okay.
we definitely need to keep that in there. And should the library close to emergency or inclement weather, all meetings would be canceled. Library-sponsored or co-sponsored events may be exempt from some of the regulations at the discretion of library administration. So that's what I found for Limbaugh. I have not found a lot about meeting rooms from
Right.
other facilities that are close to us, but I thought that was a good start for us to try and revise some of our policy.
Absolutely. Do you know how many meeting rooms Limbaugh has?
I would say it varies with each location. I don't know.
Okay. I know Smyrna does not have any. They have the one big room that they use for story time. And we currently have opened up our 2 meeting rooms that had a divider. We've opened that divider up for our leadership training, and that door has to be fixed in order for us to close it back up. And we have several trainings going on this summer along with our summer reading. So after our summer is over, perhaps we'll start looking into it. I'll start working on the policy, and you all start thinking about that. So we basically would have 2 rooms that we could use, and they would both hold, with chairs and tables, comfortably 25 people each. The history room, I would prefer for us not to use that because we do have a lot of documents in there. I have proctored tests in the history room, but as far as a meeting room from outside of the library, I would prefer not to do that one. We had done it in the past when it was a teen room, and it worked out well. But great, thank you so much, Bridget, for doing that research.
Yes, ma'am.
You get an A+ in that one. While we're talking about research, again, I know I congratulated you before the meeting, but I want to congratulate Miss Bridget again on receiving her master's degree Saturday, correct? I had the day right for
Excellent.
once, so congratulations. With that being said, our next library board meeting is Monday, July the 11th, 2022. Is that correct, Ms. Donna?
That is correct.
All righty. Now we're going to move on to library board comments. Anybody have any comments?
Just tell Bridget, congratulations, it's awesome.
Yes.
Just want to encourage our parents to please go check out books for summer reading.
Absolutely.
20 minutes a day is your goal. read to those babies.
Anyone else?
Well, the last thing you had at the library with the young man, and that was awesome, by the way.
Yes.
What I saw was so many people in there, and I'm not sure exactly how many were in there, but it was packed, and Laverne was definitely thankful for that. So thank you so much again for that. And that young man, his life would possibly never be the same because of that. So I greatly appreciate it.
You are so welcome, and I appreciated Laverne High School partnering with us and allowing us to have the authors there. We estimated about 350 people attended, and it was just great.
That is phenomenal. Well, if no one else has anything, I again want to kind of shadow what Bridget said with encouraging everyone to read. Again, if I haven't made it known before, I'm excited about oceans of possibilities. I'm really excited for the kids' crafternoon. I know my son will, as soon as I take this home, he's gonna be like, "Can we go?" It's gonna be the first question. So, again, I want to thank you and your staff. Y'all do a
Thank you.
remarkable job just with everything that you come up with, and it's so detailed and it's so family-oriented that it's remarkable. So thank you.
Well, you are very welcome, and the staff is so creative, and they are all so willing. It takes a village, and we enjoy working together.
Oh, yes, ma'am. We definitely have a good village over there at
Yes,
the
we do.
library. So if we don't have anything else, I will call this meeting adjourned.